Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody sent me this JPEG and said they can't trace it. They actually used the word wireframe, and I just did a video today, the difference between wireframe and hairline, and there's two different things. Uh, Wireframe is looking at it like that, and you can see it's a bitmap, and where mine's a vector, you can see lines. I don't ever fool around with it. I only look at enhance. This will not trace. I traced it. It's garbage. So it's not worth doing. But I did this, which is pretty close, if not dead on. There's a few things that look different because this has a gray, and I don't know if he even wants that because he said he was going to cut it out. This has a gray shadow type effect, which can be done, but I think I mimicked it pretty well. I just noticed my Hydrovac Services font is a little bit taller, but I just drew this from scratch, and anybody could do this if you can get close to the font. And I think I hit the font dead on with a font called Impact. So all I did is I just took his logo, and I'm going to lock it because I don't want to move it around. And then I'm going to type KC, capital letters, and I'm going to pick Impact. And you could go through there and check some other fonts, but KC is pretty close. I'm going to make them yellow so I can see them. I'm going to size them to about the size of the ones in the logo. Now I'm going to change my nudge factor to 0.001 so I can move stuff around in little bitty increments. And really what I need to do is probably let me make a copy. This item is locked, so we'll have to go to range and unlock. And then I'm going to grab it. I'm going to Control D. I'm going to make a duplicate. Let me just move mine out of the way. And so I've got a copy so I can look at it. So I'm going to go back and lock this one. And the reason for that, you'll see in a little bit when I'm trying to grab something. I don't want to move it around. So I've got one to kind of look at the K and the C, what's behind there. And you can actually do this with no fill and a yellow background or a yellow outline. And I'm still a little bit, maybe a little bit tall, so let's reduce it a little bit just by grabbing one of the nodes. Now, if you'll notice that the K and the C are closer together, so I'm going to go Control K and break them apart, and then I can actually move that K over closer, and then I can grab the C and I can move the C over closer, and they're actually intertwined, so that's going to work. And then I'm going to grab them both and I'm going to expand them out just a hair. Now I could go ahead and weld these, don't really have to. I've got to go to range and convert them to a curve before I can weld them. So now I've got my K and the C. This other part's easy. This part is just making circles. And let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to take circle, holding down the control button to get a perfect circle. I'm just going to keep building my circle until I get about the right shape of that. And I didn't take a lot of time, but I think I pretty much hit it dead on. So that's pretty much a circle. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate of that circle, holding down the Shift button so it grows progressively from the outside. Then I'm just going to take a 2-point line and I'm going to just draw a line. And I'm not taking a lot of time. If you were doing this for real, you'd want to take a lot of time. Then I'm just going to delete that circle. And voila, the top part is gone, or done really. I got this still locked, so let's go to range and unlock it for a second. I'm going to change my nudge factor to like 1 inch. And I'm going to grab my item and I'm going to move it out of the way. And I'm going to make both these red so we can see them. And then I'm going to weld them. And a lot of times weld doesn't work in that case, so we're just going to use the virtual segment delete key to delete those lines. And there's actually went too far, a little bit of a mistake in my, I don't really need that right here. In the original logo, it goes all the way to the top. Very easily fixed. Grab your shape tool and just move that, holding down the control button. You can move that up and then delete that corner. And then when you fill it in with black, you basically have that logo. Now you need to get rid of the red outline. The outline's there, so you can't just left click, right click. So I'm just going to delete it and then move it right back. And the rest of the logo is pretty much easy. Let's go ahead and turn this into yellow. And let's nudge this up. And then I'm just going to type out the wordage. They're all caps. And I'm going to turn them to impact. And then I can reduce them in size. Let me zoom in a little bit. Come on. A lot of times when you click on something, sometimes you'll get the shape tool. And then I'm going to make these yellow. I pick yellow because I can actually see the black maybe around the edges. And then I'm going to stretch them out. And I'm almost like dead on, I think. Then I'm going to type out this LTD. I'm going to change it to impact. And I got really lucky with it being impact, or what I think is impact is the logo. You might want to search that around. And even we can change, if it's not perfect in some cases, we can change that a little bit. And I'm going to show you. And then just take you a line and just draw you a line. You can hold down the control button so it's perpendicular. We're going to change this to black. Well, let's make it yellow right now so we can see it. And let's make it, this is real small, so 0.75 of an inch. Now, see if you don't have that lock, that's what happens. Let me zoom in here. I'm going to change my nut distance now to 0.001. I'm going to grab my yellow line. I'm going to bring it up just a hair. I'm going to control D and I'm just going to bring it down. And because it's so little, my 0.001 moves quite quickly. Now the problem is, since we don't have this locked, and I need to change my nudge distance to 1 inch. And you can see that you grab the whole thing as you've got all the corners. And then just make this black. And make the lines black. Now I made the lines thicker. So I need to select that one, hold down the shift, because I had both of them, and just make the line black. I think it's dead on. Now the only thing, and it's kind of hard to see in the graphic because of the fact that we have that gray shadow. So these look closer together than they are. But if you find that they look closer than they are, you can always grab the shape tool, grab those two nodes and do a one click. I must have had it back on 1 inch. So change your nudge distance on, and that's why I suggest everybody have their nudge distance on 0.001. That's just a minute little movement, and most laser engravers are going to find that very handy. We'll go ahead and move it up a couple of times and move this down a couple of times. And there you have it. Very easily done. Hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.